What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another installment of BrickWall Reviews. I'm Dave. Right here is B.
Hello. You
And
was
right
you was right the first time.
what?
You were right with the pointing the first time.
You gotta realize you on the other side of the screen from me. But
And
anyway,
we're gonna be doing the Superman Returns anniversary.
wow, hold on, because you added no sauce to that. Okay,
Go ahead.
hold on. I told you, you gotta watch how it's done sometimes. Okay, you gotta watch how it's done.
Go ahead, chef.
Boom. So it's another installment of BrickWall Reviews. I'm Dave. That's B. And right now. Right now, we're here to talk to y'all about the 20th anniversary of Look Up in the Sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a building.
Hmm.
No, it's the return of Superman. Superman Return. It's the 20th anniversary of the ninth highest grossing film of 2006, Superman Returns. The movie starring Brandon Routh taking on the iconic role of Superman from Christopher Reeves. I think this is like the first Superman movie that was released in theaters since the Christopher Reeves Superman movies. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the impact just to get ready for another super powered person, Supergirl, which comes out this week as well. Can't talk about that without honoring this movie first. But before we jump into it, we want to remind you guys, go ahead, hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok. I forgot where I was going with that. I had a whole thing set up for that, and then just dropped it completely. But yeah, follow us on social media, rock with us. We got reviews going on, and this is a part of our 20 and 26 review series, by the way, where during the year of 2026, which is the year we're in now, we're going to be talking about films that came out in 2006, celebrating them for their 20th anniversary, much like what we did with our 20 and 24 review series, where we did practically the same thing in 2024 for movies that came out in 2004. So without further ado, we can jump into this. So, B,
Yes.
I'm to understand that this is your first time watching Superman Returns, right?
Yes.
All right. And for those of you, if you've never seen this movie before, allow me to tell you what this film is about. Utilizing my notes, of course. So, Superman Returns,
From a
it
5 year
is,
hiatus.
huh?
From a 5 year journey.
Yeah, Superman Returns follows. See, I say Superman Returns. You talk about some 5 year journey. You gotta
See,
let.
I thought you were saying Superman Returns
No,
from a
that's the
5 year
name of the
journey.
movie.
Okay, I didn't know you were saying the name of the movie again.
I
Like,
was. Gotta pay attention, man. Gotta pay attention.
go ahead.
Superman Returns follows Superman as he returns to Earth, like he said, after a 5 year absence. And he discovers not just that things are a lot different around the world has found a dependency on not having Superman around. That makes sense. But his love interest, Lois Lane, has moved on from him, found a new family, found new love, found a new life, wrote all these articles, said that, the world doesn't need Superman. Fuck Superman. Superman's lame anyway. That's what she wrote, not me. That's what she said, word for word, bar for bar. And his arch enemy, Lex Luthor, is planning to kill him and reshape the entire continent of North America. Superman has to come in and do his Superman duties, but will he succeed? Does this movie succeed? Right? That's what we're going to be talking about here. So a few fun facts about this movie before we get into this. This is actually somewhat of a sequel to the original Superman movies starring Christopher Reeves. Superman 1 and 2 doesn't necessarily follow 3 and 4. I know 4 was very poorly received back then, and 3, I don't think people really look that fondly on 3. But this definitely takes place in that same continuity somewhat. Many people refer to this movie as a soft, as a potential soft reboot, as a loose continuation of the Christopher Reeves movies. but so yeah, so when I remember when this movie was first coming out, it got like got a lot of attention. It was a lot of buzz because Brandon Routh, he was a newcomer. He was a newcomer on the scene, and I remember the story of how they found Brandon Routh to play Superman. Um, he was like a bartender or something at the time, and I believe if the story, if memory serves me correctly, because there was a lot of hype over this story of casting Brandon Routh because he looked so much like Christopher Reeves. Um, I think they just asked him to come in and audition. He did. They gave him the role, and then the rest is history. Um, there's a lot of other fun tidbits about this movie that we'll get into later, but right now I just want to start off by definitely passing the mic over to B. And because, like we said, B had never seen this movie up to this point. It's her first time watching Superman Returns. So, B, you, I want to say, maybe have recently gotten. Uh, I think is it fair to say you've recently become somewhat of a fan of Superman based off of the 2025 James Gunn version of Superman that we also
No.
do? No, it's not fair to say that.
It's not fair.
I was just asking because it's fair to say that for me, but that's a completely different thing. But so
I'll watch it,
what
but that doesn't mean I'm a fan.
I mean, I not like fan like oh my god Superman, but like like an enjoyer of the Superman films
Uh,
or an enjoyer of Superman as
I like
the
the Superman series,
like the animated one.
like the what's it, Smallville.
Oh, okay. So you were a Smallville fan, okay? I never got into Smallville. I was never that big of a Superman fan, but we'll talk about a little bit of that soon anyway. Um, but yeah, so tell us about your experience watching this for the first time. Um, yeah, what was that? What was this like for you checking this out, especially having seen the James Gunn version of Superman and maybe Man of Steel if you saw that as well? How did you come into this movie?
So I was watching it. I don't know. It was kind of underwhelming.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't. It's like some of the storyline, in my opinion, did not go along together. It's like you have to fill in the blanks on a few things on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one of which, he leaves and then he comes back, tells his aunt, or no, his mom, where he was, what happened. Then you get like a flashback from when he first started. Then he's at the news office and coming back to work, and I'm just like, well, what happened in between that?
Right. So yeah, okay. So what blanks do you feel that you needed filled in to expound upon that real quick?
I mean, it could have been a little bit more filler in between him crash landing back on Earth and then going back to work.
Mm, give me more. Help me understand that a little bit more.
I mean, because like he crash lands in the Earth, he's clearly banged up.
Right.
I don't know. I think he just pops back up. I don't know. It's just for me. It just didn't. It didn't connect. It didn't flow. It didn't have flow state like this, like it should have for me.
Okay. I guess I can kind of understand that because I guess I kind of had the same question when I was watching it, like because the movie starts off, kind of gives you the rundown of what's kind of been going on, not like too much, but like a little bit.
Hmm.
And one of the things that they kind of just jump right into, like we said, is just like Superman just crash lands back on Earth. Like there's no like, well, how like what happened to you that you crashed back here?
Right.
And you also bought krypton. Like what happened exactly? Because the reason why Superman was away was because he had gotten what was it like? He
He
got like
traveled.
astronomers had um found remnants of Krypton or his home planet, and so
Yeah, he
Superman.
went to go investigate if there was life still there.
Mhm.
He's like, nah, it was just desolate.
Yeah, and it would have been nice to have seen. maybe something related to that journey. So I do definitely understand that. Again, I don't know if any of that might have been hinted at or explained or led into in the original Superman movies. I don't know, since this one is considered to be a sequel to some of those movies, or two out of four of those movies.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely would have been nice to have seen what caused him to crash land on Earth, which is what I thought was going to be shown. And yeah, they do kind of just he just kind of just integrates back into society, and like nothing ever really happened. Especially his Clark Kent side, like Clark was gone for what, 5 years.
Five
He just
years. Yeah.
walks in and gets
Well,
the job, and then it's just like, yeah, the other guy died, so you got your job back. Like, oh,
right. But then,
okay.
another thing that was, it kind of like, I had to think about it, was the mom is standing in the kitchen, and somebody gets into the truck, I guess her husband, and says, "All right, good night." And then he crash lands in the earth. Then she's driving up in the truck and it's like, "Oh, if your father was still here." And I'm just like, was that a flashback?
Or oh, Martha Kent was out there having an affair. She
Ah.
just got her
Mm.
son washing off dishes. Damn, that was so good.
I'm like, was there a time jump? Did this man die in between the time jump that it took from him to go from the sky to the ground? Like,
Oh, when you crash landed, killed your pa.
right.
um, yeah. So I mean, so that is something that I would have liked to. Me personally, I just would have liked to have gotten the story of what caused him to crash, because I hadn't seen, realistically, I had not seen this movie since 2006. I saw this movie in theaters. I do not remember watching this movie outside of maybe like one DVD rental,
Mm.
or I might have watched it once, maybe on FX another time, but like bits and pieces. But I never really sat through this entire movie. And fun fact, still technically have it, because I always fall asleep during the end. Like,
Mm-mm-mm.
I always fall asleep towards the end, but I do know what happens. But yeah, like I hadn't like really fully tapped in like to this movie since about 2006. I'll say, to be fair about it. Um, so there are a lot of things that I forgot. Like, yeah, there's a lot of things I forgot. But back with the plot though. So at the same time Superman's crashing down on the Earth, the movie actually, even before that, the movie actually opens with Lex Luthor kind of just enacting his evil plan, which I guess included banging a woman until she died. Or like
Huh?
pretending he loved a woman or something.
Oh,
He
the
pretended
old
he
lady.
loved that
Yeah, I
old
forgot
lady,
about
right?
that.
Yeah, he remember he
He he
yeah,
he was
he
sitting there like pretending like he was with her or whatever.
mhm.
Yeah, I don't know if he was banging her till she died. I hope that's not the
I mean,
case.
not like banging her until she died, but like,
Oh,
with
oh
her, giving her, all this TLC. Because remember, she's like, "You've given me the best years of my life. You showed
yeah.
me pleasures I've never known."
Mm.
I just assumed
Flatline.
that he was up in that old lady guts.
Like, cause all he wanted was the yacht, right?
All he wanted was the inheritance, the full inheritance. I think he got everything from that. I think he got the money from it. He did get the
Mm.
yacht. I do know that. He got, I think he got everything, honestly. Because I think she signed everything away to him.
Mm.
Um so yeah, so there's that. So there's Lex Luthor's plan. What is he up to? I don't know. I don't So I'll be real with y'all, right? I never really know what Lex Luthor's plan is. Like, I never, like, in any iteration of Superman, I never truly know what Lex Luthor's plan is. I just know he's a massive asshole. Like, he's just there to antagonize Superman. Like,
Like, what did Superman do
honestly,
to you
like,
that was that bad?
no, because like Lex Luthor, and I gotta love Lex Luthor for this, and I think this is why I actually do like Lex Luthor a lot as a character overall. Is that like he is like single handedly the one of the biggest ops anybody can ever
Mhm.
have, because Lex Luthor's just like, yo, he's from space. You guys know that, right? Yeah, nah, but he's saving everybody. He's making things so much better. Yeah, but he's from space. Like, he's
Mhm.
gotta be evil, right? Nah. Yo, I'm gonna do everything in my power to prove that he's evil.
Right.
Or you can just not. No, I'm gonna do it.
But
Okay,
they
well,
were
how are you gonna
friends
do
in
that? I'm gonna
Smallville.
blow up a bridge. Like, what do you mean you're gonna blow up a bridge, Lex? That ain't cheating.
Yeah, because why, if you're trying to shape the world into something, the North America, not the world, into this crazy crystal place with filled with kryptonite, you're gonna show them how bad Superman is, but you're the one over here destroying shit.
Dog, seriously. Like, excuse me. Lex Luthor's plan was like, it was just cartoonishly evil, but I like that it was cartoonishly evil. Because his
Hmm.
whole thing was just like, like, oh, this is Superman's lab. I'm going to take these crystals. I'm going to make it, like you said, I'm going to crystallize an entire island in the middle. It's going to be mine. I'm going to make everybody come over here because they're going to need me. And then as soon as he catches wind that Superman's back, he's like, speed it up, but
Hmm.
also make it obvious that I'm doing something.
Hmm.
Like, he was not being secretive about none of this shit, but he was also trying to keep it a secret at the same time. Like, Lex Luthor is just such a conundrum to me. Like,
But for the Fortress of Solitude, right? I
mm-hmm.
thought nobody was supposed to be able to find it.
Yeah, and I'm just
And
so happy that in 2006 they made somebody finding the Fortress of Solitude almost as ridiculously easy as it was in James Gunn's Superman.
I'm like, how you find the Fortress of Solitude? How you go
Yeah,
in there? How, why is it responding to you?
yo, like, you niggas be running up in the Fortress of Solitude like, yo, tell me everything.
And they just give it to him, and it's like,
The
bro.
Fortress ain't shit.
And then did he ever get the crystals back? Like, you did all this and
No,
you never got the
like,
crystals back.
like, so, yo, and that's so the funniest thing about it is that because now as the movie goes on, and oh, matter of fact, we'll get there in a second. But as the movie goes on, like we mentioned earlier, Superman, when he comes back, he sees that he practically stalks Lois and finds out that
Yeah.
that she's like, moved on, has an entire family and everything. And this is before he even goes back to the Daily Planet. Like, one of the first things that he does is stalk the shit out of Lois.
No, this was
And
during when he first got back, and then he realized she was with somebody else. He went to go.
oh, you're right. He found out she was with somebody else first. But the first thing, when he walked in the Daily Planet, he went over to her desk and started stalking Shadow. What's she been up to? Ooh, look at
See this
that.
nice family portrait
Prizes,
with
got
Richard.
rewards, got a fucking family. This
A
hell
baby?
family.
He like, whose baby is this?
Here come Jimmy Olsen, toss him down. Yeah, she's married. Great family, He's like, fuck. Right,
That's like that meme. Bah.
So yeah, that so Superman is like came back here, realizes the love of his life is what doesn't has moved on, whatnot. Um, but that kind of leads into one of the big action set pieces that I do remember got a lot of attention. I do remember because like I said, I saw this movie in theaters, and I do remember this was so there's two ways I can talk about this scene. I'm gonna pick this way to talk about it. So I can agree with you, B. When what was your initial assessment of this movie? Just so I can make sure I'll mention your words, because I think that we felt that I might have felt the same way.
That it was just like it wasn't. Oh, this is great. This is just eh.
Right. And would you say that it kind of felt dry up until about the airplane scene?
Not even after the airplane scene, it was kind of dry because it's like it wasn't. I mean, it's not that there wasn't real panic, but it's like it was still kind of dry. The airplane scene was kind of dry for me. The action that I thought came was after he had threw the crystals into the water, and then it was like, okay, it's picking up.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. And I can agree with that. So that's why I asked, because the plane scene for me when I first, because up until that point, I remember when I was first watching this, I was like, okay, there's a lot of stuff going on and there are things happening, but I came to see Superman and I would like to see Superman do Superman things because I don't know if maybe the t-shirt I'm wearing says anything different, but I would, yeah, now y'all looking at it like, oh, I see,
Right.
he's got a Batman shirt
He's got a dark
on.
Superman shirt on.
A dark Superman shirt on.
I'm just kidding.
That's the best you can come up with. but nah, yeah, like I I wasn't always the biggest Superman fan. As a matter of fact, I always kind of said Superman was kind of boring, and that not boring, but Superman was just lame to me because he's just like all that power. What the fuck do you do? Get taken down by a rock? Like at some point.
Wait, wait. So you're like Superman is lame. He's such a lame, even though he's faster than a speeding bullet. He can shoot lasers out of his eyes. But then you're like,
Throw that green ass rock at that bitch. He ain't doing shit.
you're like,
Throw
yeah,
that green
Batman,
rock at
but
that bitch.
Batman
He ain't
though,
doing a goddamn thing.
Batman, yeah, no, he's not lame at all. Shoot him in
No,
the chest.
and I listen, as much as I strayed away from the intense liking I had towards Batman, I will say that Batman still is that motherfucker. Because like break his ankle, guess what? He's still gonna kick your ass.
Shoot him
And
in the
good luck
face.
trying to break his ankle in the first place. If his ankle broke while he was fighting you, you were not the cause of his ankle breaking. He was probably just trying to save somebody else real quick and kind of fucked up the fall. And he fucked up the fall because you got lucky that he fucked up the fall. I mean, really lucky. I mean, like top tier luck that he happened to break his ankle while fighting you. Other than that, Batman putting his foot all up through and around your ass. Like, and he's doing that in like 2 seconds. Superman, yeah, he's flying down there, he can shoot you with the lasers, blow you with the super breath, and all that other good shit. But, like, let me have that piece of kryptonite in my pocket. What you gonna do, little bitch? Like, and there's a part of this movie where you kind of see that exemplified. We'll get there in a second. Yeah, a lot of places we gotta get to, a lot of chapters. But yeah, no, the airplane scene was like it was the first major scene in the movie with Superman.
Oh, it
And
was his debut. Like, I'm back.
yeah, like his big return. And I thought that it was like when I first saw it, it was a cool scene and everything like that. It definitely woke me up from being just bored and not knowing what the hell was going on for like half the movie up to that point. But yeah, no, I thought it was cool to see, and then even now when I went back and I watched this, like I said, in light of me seeing movies like Man of Steel and James Gunn's Superman, having a different point of view on the character to where I'm a little bit more warmed up to him. It was nice to still see this airplane scene. It was still exciting. It was still, like, wow, that is Superman. Like he's, doing what the fuck he does. But I don't know. It still wasn't enough to, because like as soon as that scene is over, the movie just goes back to just like, Lois, Superman, Lex Luthor. Like, it's there's one part in the movie too, and talking about Superman and Lois Lane specifically, when they're like, Lois, get the interview, and for her to talk to Superman, figure things out and whatnot. The part where he takes her on the flight, that entire part for me, I was sitting here cracking up because like when they was about to kiss each other and she stopped. If you look at Superman's face, his face like, fuck. Damn, I know what this bitch about to do. And then she was like, he's great. And he just backed up. And then the way he looked, I don't know if you noticed this the way I did. And I started to text you and tell you to really pay attention to that part. Because when he walks away, he has this look on his face like, you walking away from all this super for a man. Remember that. Remember that. You said no, Lois. Man, not no consent, man. Superman refused consent, Lois. You didn't want this. I'll always be around the Lois. Just remember, go back to your regular man.
He's like, I'm not
It's
far away at
fine.
all. Some might even
I'm
say I'm just a desk away.
I know that's my son, Lois. You don't think I know? This is my son. But it's okay, Lois. You got it.
And that was another thing. Like, oh, whose baby is this? It's Richard's. That ain't Richard's baby.
No, it's not. It was so clear that it wasn't. I
Like,
don't honestly. I don't know what they were getting at with that scene or with that subplot. I don't know what they were getting at with
you could have sensed that that was your baby. You knew that was your child.
that. Everybody knew. No, Lois knew that that wasn't that man baby. That was Superman's baby.
Yeah, because it didn't even take him throwing the piano for people to know that that was Superman's baby.
It didn't. Lex Luthor was ready to kill that kid with that kryptonite though. He wasn't playing. Lex Luthor was like, yo, fuck that little boy. I'm going, yeah.
Waiting for him to react.
Right. Let's see what else about this. What else about this movie? Because I was gonna go beat by beat with this plot, but we practically. Oh, the only other thing I'm gonna talk about real quick is the part where he stops the robbery and they just shooting the bullets at him the whole time, and that part was fun when I watched it first time too. Because I love the scene, like the bullet goes, it hits his eye and it just crushes, and
Yeah,
I did like that. I've always liked that scene. I've always liked that scene. But yeah, outside of that, like those are like the only two big pieces of action that kind of like pick up in a way. But it's like without those, this movie's just like not doing much justice to Superman being Superman. It's just Superman returns, and this is what he did when he came back. He had a lot of scores to settle. He had to go back to work. Lois doesn't like him, and then it was the whole thing with Lex Luthor, which is important, but yeah. I mean, did anything else though stick out to you before we start to jump any farther into the whole Lex Luthor Superman final battle type thing? Because there's really not too much else to talk about, at least for me on the film. But do you have anything else?
No,
nothing else stuck out to you for real.
I'm trying to think. Oh, the scene when he catches the Daily Planet and then the cigarette falls. Oh no, not that where he catches the what was it, like a guard um name on the building, that thing.
Yeah,
And
you
then
were right the first time when he caught the Daily Planet globe.
that's when the cigarette fell.
Yeah, I think what's crazy. I'll be 100% honest, guys. I've watched this movie maybe twice now. And I feel like I always miss the Daily Planet part. I don't know what part of the movie that comes in. I've seen clips. I've seen the gifs. I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah, that does happen in Superman Returns. Let me go ahead and make sure I see that part. I just don't know what part of the movie that happens in. So but I don't, and I guess maybe that's a testament to maybe the way that I do feel about this movie is that, well, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. But, is there anything else though that
I'm just saying that was a cool-ish scene when he just blew all that fire away.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that was the I guess the extent. Wait, so what part are you diving into now?
Well, I want to go into a little bit into the whole Lex Luthor Superman big finale-ish battle and everything like that. I do remember when this movie came out, there was, because So we talked earlier about the kryptonite being Superman's weakness, um,
Mm-hmm.
and so and how Lex Luthor kind of took advantage of that. He found the kryptonite and he practically beat the shit out of. He had people jump Superman at this point.
Yeah, that point. And how, were they mutants? How was they so damn strong that they could pick up Superman's heavyweight ass and just toss him into some crystals?
Because that kryptonite, man.
Yeah, but like it has nothing to do with body mass. Same
Yeah, but it's
thing.
like if you
Lex Luthor basically backhand slapped him, and this man went rolling down the hill. It's just like, are you?
because like the thing about kryptonite though, and it really kind of depending on which depiction you get, but and matter of fact, no, it's not depending on what depiction you get. Practically every depiction across the board, when Superman gets that kryptonite, he is a weak little bitch. Like you can smack the shit out of, because imagine not being able to smack somebody. Are you going to hit somebody and it hurts because they're so strong? But the minute they get weak, it's like, yeah, you silly putty now, bitch. Yeah, mm. And that's what and that's what Lex Luthor did to Superman. I'm like, yeah, you ain't shit now, Superman. And it's like, why not pick up the man of steel, right? Why
Uh-huh.
not pick his ass up and throw him somewhere? I ain't gonna be able to throw you no other time.
Right.
Like, because any other time I can't even get close enough to like hem you up at the very least. But
Can't
like,
even touch that man's cloak.
right, you can't even catch the cape flapping because it's gonna smash. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah, nah, that's definitely and so I was me and a lot of other people, because I specifically remember I got into a conversation with like a random person in a store. This is when we all used to talk to each other in public, just like for no reason. Um, uh, and I forget what store I was in. I was with my mom, and we was in the store, and I was talking to this guy. Like, I was talking about Superman, and then this guy was there. I don't know. I just remember we talked about how Superman was, and we talked about the fact that he lifted up an entire big ass
Star.
landmass of kryptonite, and we talked about how ridiculous that was. And I've throughout time, that's always been one of the things that's been talked about this movie, is that he should not have been able to lift that kryptonite thing out of the water like that. It's an island made of kryptonite. Bullshit. And these are people that I'm talking to at the time that knew way more about Superman than I did. I just knew kryptonite, he could fly, he's the strongest superhero to exist. Boom. That's all I
Right.
really knew, like the bare minimum. But these people were like, no, that wasn't even possible. That makes no sense. Like, even in like other critiques, like the honest trailers and things like that, like I do believe that they make fun of the fact that he should not have been able to pick up an entire landmass worth of kryptonite. That's just impossible. So, but what did you feel about that, Bisif?
Um. Oh, him picking up the island. um. I was trying to say perhaps it was more like, you know how if somebody's in danger, like your kid, your mom, the mom can like lift up a car, roll it over type thing. And people were in danger. So he kind of maybe mustered up that last bit of strength to kind of throw the kryptonite into the air, into the sky. But if that's the case, he should have been able to beat them people up that was jumping him.
Exactly. Exactly. He got stabbed by, and that's the other thing too. He was stabbed by kryptonite at that point. If
Right.
I'm not mistaken, the kryptonite was broke off in his side. If I'm not mistaken,
Uh, It
like,
was in his side.
and so he's holding up an entire island of kryptonite while also being impaled by kryptonite. It doesn't make sense, but I guess But it was kind of a little bit ridiculous, but I suppose, I suppose. Um, that was one of the things. Let's see, anything else in this movie that is worth like really mentioning before we get into fun facts about this film? Got anything else? No? Is that a no? I guess that's a no. All right, so now we're gonna get into fun facts. B, are you ready for fun facts about this film?
Yes.
All right. You didn't have to leave me hanging when I was asking if there's anything else about this film, too.
I said no. I didn't
You
have
didn't
anything
hear
else to
nothing.
say.
You was quiet.
That was my silent protest.
Well, this is not the time. Okay, so I already mentioned that this is the first Superman movie to be made since Superman 4. Let's see, what other fun facts can I bring to your attention? Um, this movie does, like I said, this movie does ignore the events of Superman 3, Supergirl, and Superman 4 Quest for Peace, but I think it's not a stretch by saying a lot of things ignore the 1984 Supergirl, including me. Um,
Mm.
um,
I saw that up there when I was scrolling through all the super movies.
yeah, listen,
And
you can watch that and you can do your segment on that. I won't.
no, but listen, the cover looked very modern. I had to look at the year several times, and I'm just like, what? This looks like it just came out. Like,
Yeah, the magic of a digital upgrade, I guess.
maybe remastering.
Okay, no, seriously, I'm about to look up these. All right, I already mentioned it was the ninth highest grossing film in 2006. There was supposed to be a sequel for this released in 2009, but Warner Brothers was not pleased with the box office return, which it grossed or it made $391.1 million on a $223 million budget. Um, so not really the best of returns, I would say. I would assume, I would imagine they would definitely were looking to get higher with that. Um, but they didn't get what they wanted off of there, so they did not do the sequel. Um, so then the entire thing got rebooted to 2013 with Man of Steel. Um, and Brandon Routh had reprised his role as Superman in the Arrowverse crossover Crisis on Infinite Earths. Are those really the funnest of fun facts? Um, there, I know there were rumors that the sequel would have involved more of Superman's rogues gallery, specifically maybe a little bit of Brainiac, because that's what people automatically want to go to, which is cool. Um, yeah, okay, that's all the fun facts I have, though. I don't feel like looking at any more fun facts. That's all I got for you. What did you feel about the main actor who played Superman? How do you think his portrayal of Superman was? Ma'am, she's answering in her silence. Silent protest again. Why? Why? Beesif,
Yes.
what did you think of the main actor who portrayed Superman in this movie?
Um, I mean, I guess he did a good job. He did his thing.
Mm-hmm.
I always had an issue with Superman and this Clark Kent persona,
Okay.
because it's
Go
like,
ahead.
why don't any of y'all see he just has on glasses?
So there, do you want to hear one of the explanations I got from comics?
No. Like, go
So
ahead.
so apparently there's two different explanations. One is that he actually changes his bone structure to look different.
Well, how
And
does
another
that?
one is that he hypnotized, which they did kind of play around with in the James Gunn Superman. It's like he hypnotizes people so that they can't tell that it's him. Whether or not any of those can actually be utilized in live action, I don't know, but I think that will be fun to see.
Yeah, I guess it's like, oh, Clark. No, it's like Clark. Something's going on. I think their Superman might be there. I bet he will. Let me take these glasses off and flip my part to the other side. Who's that? Can't be Clark.
Do you think Jimmy Olsen in this movie knew that Clark was Superman, or do you think that he didn't know?
I thought at some point he did know, but he
Because
didn't believe
they
him.
kind of left that a little vague.
Yeah, I thought he knew who he was, but he didn't believe him.
See, I didn't. Yeah, I couldn't. I
But
wasn't
that
too.
was from the movie before that, I think.
What, like the OG Superman too?
No, like some of it's one of their previous interactions. Maybe it's not Superman Returns. Maybe it's a movie after that. But I feel like in one of their other fuck one of their other interactions that he found out who he was, but he didn't believe him.
I don't know. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know. um, let's see. Is there anything else? Anything else about this movie that you want to talk about before we get into ratings?
Let me think. Oh, maybe Superman's kid. How many lines did he have?
He didn't have much to do in this movie at all.
Mm. And
Why?
then it's like, because it's like he was just there, kind of, just pointing at a lot of stuff. And then at one point, when they're being held hostage by Lex Luthor, she's like, "Go play the piano," and then the hostage taker starts playing the piano with him.
It's like, what was the point of that, right?
Yes, I mean, I get it. She was trying to send a fax, but like,
Why would he walk over there and play piano with the boy?
yes, like,
I
I
don't
was
know.
like,
Maybe he
was
just
y'all kidnapped? Like,
and then turn around and be such a massive asshole and try to kill the mom right in front of him.
right?
Yeah, okay. That was strange. I will give you
Like,
that.
he started
Um,
whooping her ass out of that. Like,
yo, listen, like bad too. Like Rose was getting her ass ragdolled. Um, so I'm gonna ask one more question. I think is important, especially with you having um especially with the new DC universe and all that stuff, and the new Superman we got and all that stuff. Um, does this movie change your perception of Superman as a character, or do you think that your opinion was more so changed with the James Gunn movie? I don't want to ask you which movie you thought was better because I honestly, I think the James Gunn one was better. That's just me though because it was more action and it was more flashy. It had a lot more things to be impressed by. So I feel like
mm,
there's an unfair margin there. But I do want to ask you, like, the question I asked you first before I went off on a tangent. Boom.
mhm.
Which was what the what um yeah, what did this movie make you think any differently of Superman um than the James Gunn movie did?
No, it made me realize I did like the James Gunn movie better than I like this.
Right.
At least there was, some things to keep me captivated. But with this movie, I found myself doom scrolling for a minute, and then I was like, shit, I'm watching a movie. Let me put my phone down.
Yeah, no, and I do not disagree with that because like I said, when I first saw this movie and I saw it in theaters, I was like, okay, there's not a lot of Superman going on here. Like there's not a lot of
Mhm.
Superman in my Superman movie. Which I think with a character like Superman, you're either gonna give the action or you're
Mhm.
gonna give the less actiony route. I feel like I don't know, but I feel like, and this isn't And listen, people, this is not me trying to glaze the James Gunn universe at all, but this is me saying that, and I saw Man of Steel. I got to defend myself real quick, B. I saw Man of Steel. I never really gave a shit about Man of Steel. Okay, I'll be real with you because Superman at the time was not my favorite character. He wasn't even.
Mhm.
I still was dogging the shit out of Superman. I said, man, fuck Superman. But I've watched Man of Steel multiple times in the years since. And it's just not really my bag. Like I don't like. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's cool. They have good action in there, like and stuff
Mhm.
like that. I won't discount that. I don't. I'm not like a stickler of. I'm not gonna say, oh, Brandon Routh's the best Superman. David Cornswell's the best Superman. Henry Cavill's the best. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'll be real with you. I don't give a fuck. It's how are these movies entertaining me? And I got the most entertainment out of the James Gunn Superman. That me personally, I'm not saying that the James Gunn Superman is the superior film. In my opinion, yes, it is. But for all y'all feel free to have whichever Superman. If you think that the Superman Returns is the best Superman out there, by all
Mhm.
means, you are entitled to that. That is your. I'm
Mhm.
not going to argue or debate you on Superman of all things. That's not. I'm not the Superman debate guy. Now, if we talking Batman or the Flash or something like that, yeah, we might can mono, but Superman, I'm gonna let y'all have that because that ain't my bag. Okay, that's not my bag.
Mhm.
I'm a new Superman enjoyer, but I am not a Superman fan. Okay, so I just want to get that out the way because I don't want nobody coming over here talking about some Snyder. I don't give a fuck. Okay, I don't give a shit. I don't. Okay, I like I. So all that to say, the James Gunn Superman movie is the most enjoying is the most enjoyment I've gotten out of a Superman movie. But Superman Returns, I remember this was the most hype I've ever. Well, I can't say that because I was real hyped about James Gunn Superman too. So I guess I do like Superman Returns. I just don't. I don't love it, but I like it, and I like it for what it is. But it's not the strongest Superman movie out there. And it wasn't even the strongest back in 2006, but
Mhm.
I could definitely see why it is one of the top 10 highest grossing movies of that year because it's goddamn Superman. It's Superman. So I can't take that away from him. But I don't know, you have any closing thoughts before we jump on to ratings? I thought Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor was great, and it also I did have Kevin Spacey jokes, but I'm not gonna make them. I'm not gonna make them because that's it's a bit dark for this channel. It's a bit dark, but Kevin Spacey was a good Lex Luthor though. I will say that. B, excellent.
Yes.
What's your rating for this film?
My rating for this film, I would give it a 3.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of in the middle, I guess. Only because I do wish that there was more action, not just, the let's have a long ass conversation with a sprinkle of fighting. So, yeah, I'm gonna stick with that 3. And it's not even because, I'm a Marvel fan more than I'm a DC fan, but I'm gonna just stick with that 3.
Okay, so 3 out of 5 stars.
Yeah.
Okay. This movie sits at 72% on Rotten Tomatoes, 6.1 out of 10 on IMDb. Um, but my personal rating for this, um, I gotta sit right there with B. I'm a 3 out of 5. It's not that it was bad, and it's for the same reasons. It's not that it was a bad movie. It's not that it was a bad movie. It's just that the action.
Hmm.
I would have liked to have seen more action in this movie. I would have liked to have seen more Superman being Superman and not getting dogged out
Hmm.
every chance they got to give him, whether he was being a creep or whether he was getting his ass beat with kryptonite lodged in his fucking body. Um, but all that to say, yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad movie. It's just middle of the road. It's not even like the type of middle of the road where I'll say, oh, it's just mid. Like, oh, it's just 3 out of 5. just needed more action, I feel like. But you know, just need more action. So. But all in all, though, that does it for our 20th anniversary review of Superman Returns. Happy 20th anniversary to Superman Returns. Thank you for returning once again in the DCU with brand new slate of movies, including next year's Man of Tomorrow. But before we even get there, I do believe Superman appears in this week's Supergirl, which at the time of this recording is now playing in theaters. Make sure you guys check that out and be on the lookout for our review for Supergirl, which we will gladly be bringing to you sometime soon. I'm personally excited to see that. What about you? Be excited to see that?
For crypto.
for crypto. Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited to see it because I don't know. I'm just excited to see it. I'm just excited to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. But anyway, that does it. Thank you guys for tuning in to this review. Talk about Superman. I feel like this is probably the longest review we've done in quite some time. If you enjoyed this review, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel. You already subscribe. Follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok. All that was in the ticker down below. It's leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, get those names. Get those names. They're leaving. No names. Come back. Oh, no, they're back right there. And yeah, be on the lookout for more reviews from us. Thank you and everything like that. And until next time, be easy, stay breezy, be super. I say that with a Batman shirt on. That's hilarious. Peace out, y'all.
Good night.